y'all can give it up for King Supreme one time real quick, that'd be greatly appreciated. Yeah, he's one of the best DJs around here. I'm definitely grateful to have him here tonight to do some stuff, and I'm grateful that y'all are here tonight to kind of experience some new stuff art-wise. We're going to do a lot of like stuff tonight when it comes to just like spoken word, rap, just beat production, spinning, as you kind of saw from King Supreme. So we're going to get a little bit of everything. So before I go up, I wanted to introduce two of my homies who came from Des Moines. So they're part of a group, a collective that they kind of started on their own called Unique Vibrations, which is a collective of artists, whether that be artists who do poetry, artists who do DJing, drums, instruments, rap, and all that. And we kind of come together to kind of like share art in a way that like will kind of like bring like productive, positive vibes to like whatever communities we kind of occupy. So definitely grateful to kind of be on this little group with these two. I've known them for like years, about like 4 or 5 years or something. Met them in Des Moines, and it's kind of been cool to kind of grow alongside them art-wise. So if y'all can get it up for DK, Just Human, and Day Day, that'd be greatly appreciated.
All right. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Yes. Give me just a second. I just got to send this. I didn't want to send it to him while he was DJing because it makes a noise, and I didn't want to interrupt because he was spinning on the ones and twos. All right. Hey, first of all, John. I just met John. Thank you for having us out here. Aubs, I appreciate you inviting me. I'm from Des Moines. I work today at Guitar Center, and I had a little shift. I had to leave early. They let me leave early. Thank you to my manager. I got to come here. We drove. I just bought a 95 GMC Ventura van, and I've been feeling really cool in that, being able to travel around. So I'm just glad to be able to. It's my first time taking it out of Des Moines, so thank you to that. Yes. You got everything you need? All right. So first things first is I like to make sure that we fill the room with the presence of the ancestors, all the people who come before us, and connect us to the heartbeat. So Dede, if you can, go ahead and wake up the ancestors. Mic check 1, 2, 3. I feel like a new me. This music is moving straight right through me. I move like a great white, gracefully moving with great might. Watch me get creative on the bass like I'm one with the water. God, look me in the face like you gotta grind harder. How bad do you want it? Would you really be happy if you had what you wanted? Right now is your moment, don't take it for granted. What would you do for the sake of the planet? Most music's made us satanic, that's why I'm changing it, damn it. Yo, this is Earth Hop. Get your food for thought served hot. I hope you get the message when the verse drops. Special delivery, my love's consistently, visibly made in every inch of me. Man, I'm making history. When I'm on the road and you're all alone, yeah, I know you're missing me, but just know I miss you too. Join me on this journey through my journal of my spiritual journey to my eternal truth. Expressing myself is what I've learned to do. Enlightens the kind of human I've turned into. Despite the nonsense inside your conscience I'm burning through. Because the fate of our planet's also concerning you. We're all connected, your every breath is what you've been blessed with. You should respect it, not just neglect it. Our air's infected, I can't accept this. This is a death which nature is precious, but her regression is something I wouldn't want to mess with. Yo, was that a earthquake? They say a flap of a butterfly could make the earth shake. So just imagine the type of impact the verse make. They could bring the peace depending on your wordplay. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that, yes. Yeah, we here, and where we at? We're in, this is Bishop Hill. Yes, never heard of it until today. And so I had to put it in the GPS to figure out where we were. But Kumbaya, mea, kumbalea, mea, kumbalea, mea, me, kumbalea. And I am DK, just human, DK Mamu Akachi. I am a poet, I am an MC, a vocalist. I've been learning the keyboard, so I brought that out today. I also work with the youth 5 days of the week. I'm working with 5th and 4th graders. Just started working with the Juvenile Detention Center in Des Moines. And that's been very fun to be able to work with kids with writing. And on my right, I got my brother DK Kamal Kachi, also known as Dede or Chopsticks. He's my younger brother. Got to watch him grow. He's my drummer, my videographer, my right-hand man. He's always my passenger, my co-pilot. And I'm thankful to have him here today. And together, we're Unique Vibrations. Thank you, thank you. Yes. Kumbalea, mea, kumbalea, mea, kumbalea, mea, me, kumbalea. One more time, say, kumbalea, mea, kumbalea, mea, kumbalea, mea, me, kumbalea. And I just made that up. It just means welcome home. Yes. All right, so I got this poem that I want to read. This was last minute, so I do have to read it from here. But I would like to read this poem. It's called Life Begins. Yeah, I'm just going to get it going. The moon sends waves back and forth. Everybody take a breath, in and out. Blood flows through each vein, up and down, emotions deeper than an ultrasound. Cradled in the womb, swimming in mother's unconditional love. Life begins, and the moon waves back and forth. Greetings, astrological meetings, cosmic wisdom inspired ancient teachings, translated into DNA, downloading nature's awareness. From a bird's eye view, four-legged creatures, the sneaky serpent, the flipping fish, and the Egyptian's third eye too, all captured in the lens of God. From a universal angle, lights, camera, big bang, sentient beings celebrate. They come together to welcome you into this realm. A star is born. Fresh out of the water, your first time breathing in and out. Tears fall in a current of joy. In the special moment, everyone cries, reminded that everyone's born, everyone bleeds, and everyone dies, to be recycled in the circle of life. Yes. Thank you, thank you. And I'm gonna get my water bottle. Dede, you just wanna play something funky real quick while I get my water bottle and get a drink? Yeah, we gonna have a good time. 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 Yeah, we gonna have a good, yeah. All right. All right, so just letting y'all know, this has been 3 months. I've been working very hard on this. I got a job at Guitar Center just so I can be around more keyboards. And I've done this now. This is my 3rd time bringing the keyboard to the stage. I've been performing my whole life. Always wanted to play an instrument. My brother, he got an instrument about a few years ago, and I'm like, well, shoot, he ain't gonna be younger than me outdoing me. So I got myself an instrument. Vocals are an instrument. I have been an MC, I have been a poet, but I really just love music, and this is me shedding that love. So right now we're just gonna get the fingers warmed up, and then we're gonna get into our music. Now is this the playing in C major? All right, this is what I'm learning. I'm learning all the octaves and stuff, and it's been fun. All right, but now this song was the first song I made on the keyboard. It's called Frankenstein, and it's just bringing the party back to life.
Take on the big one right away.
The room was without rhythm and nobody seemed to have a groove. I was searching for the right words that I could sing to you. How would you feel if the heart didn't drum and the singer was dead and the crowd was numb? We're all here to put it in a drain, and Dracula, boogeyman is chasing after ya. Bring it back to life. You're my Frankenstein. I'll play this music for you. Such a mastermind, so electrifying. Now you better do as I told you. Sing la da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. Bring it back to life. You're my Frankenstein. I'll play this music for you. Such a mastermind, so electrifying. Now you better do as I told you. Sing la da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. Groove starts to kick in and saves the night, bringing the living dead back to life. Bring it back to life. You're my Frankenstein. I'll play this music for you. Such a mastermind, so electrifying. Now you better do as I told you. Yes. I wrote that 2 months ago. Yeah, I wrote it after a month of learning the piano, learning the chords. I have another band member who's on his way. He's in Atlanta right now. He went to North Carolina, Durham to study music and jazz. And he's been teaching me music theory and stuff. So I've taken that, and after a month, I created that song. And then I have another one we're going to share that for y'all. So thank you. Thank you. Like I said, I couldn't let him outdo me. I'm the older brother. Nah, it's chopsticks. Can y'all make some noise for my drummer? No, I've been doing talent shows and making music since I was like literally when he was born. You know, when I was in 4th grade, I started writing lyrics, started doing talent shows, and it's just really cool to grow up. And you know, the last few years, my brother and I have been performing together, and it's been really fun to have my blood brother with me on this journey, and to watch him grow as well into a musician. It's been really fun. So yeah, I got this next one. I don't really have a title for it other than Change, so let's go with it. I said I'm desperate for change, but I can't change myself. And if I can't change myself, then I can't change the world. I said I'm desperate for change, but I can't change myself. And if I can't change myself, and then I can't change the world. Hello, I know there's so much tension around the globe. Your soul's alone and lately you've been going down the slope, unaware of the sounds of hope. Not to care is how you cope. Been so lost for so long, but don't worry, you found your home. Spent your whole life going without, now it's time to go within. There's no better time than now, because the earth will always spin. I said the sun will always shine off the reflection of your skin. Bring the riches to this world with every second that you spend. Said I'm desperate for change, but I can't change myself. And if I can't change myself, then I can't change the world. I said I'm desperate for change, but I can't change myself. And if I can't change myself, then I can't change the world. Come on. But I can't change myself. And if I can't change myself, then I can't change the world. I said I'm desperate for change, but I can't change myself. And if I can't change myself, then I can't change the world. I said I'm desperate for change, but I can't change myself. And if I can't change myself, then I can't change the world. I said I'm desperate for change, but I can't change myself. And if I can't change myself, then I can't change the world. I said I'm desperate for change. Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, thank you very much. All right, we got this next one, this last one with my brother on the drums, and then we're gonna get into my original craft, starting with hip hop. And I'm thankful to have King Supreme, because I've done a lot of hip hop shows where I didn't get to have the privilege to have a DJ with me. And that's where, if you're not familiar, this is actually the 50th year anniversary of hip hop. Which is a very beautiful thing, because hip-hop is something that has really shaped our world into a different way of marketing things, a different way of spreading information and education, a different way of connecting to our youth. That's what I've been doing with hip-hop. So can we make some noise for that? You know, yes. All right. But sometimes you can feel like the outlaw, so that's what this next one is. I've been riding around for quite a while, strolling down a hopeless route, but I can't go back, I can't do that. The sheriff's looking for me and he wants me bad. I'm a wanted man, reward for dead or alive. I'm an outlaw and there's just nowhere to hide. I'm an outlaw and there's just nowhere to hide. I'm an outlaw and there's just nowhere to hide. My freedom, my freedom. My freedom, that's all I want is my freedom. My freedom, my freedom. My freedom, I'll live and die for my freedom. All my life I've been told who not to be, constantly confused psychologically, because subconsciously these people who they told me not to be. This life is not for me, this economy, there's no honesty, and honestly what it's costing me is what's stopping me. But there's no stopping me, I'm free in my mind. I'm heading down this lonely road just to see what I find. I understand now, I think differently than other human beings. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly be being human means in a world that it seems to forgotten these things. But by all means, I guess they say that's just America's dreams. Yet America's land wasn't owned by the American man. Back then he was grown to roam and call home to wherever you stand. But the past is the past, the present is hell, the future gets worse if we don't change the way that we've been treating this earth. That's my perspective. I don't expect you to get it. I just know this evilness is trying to take over me and I won't let it. This is my spiritual journey. I'm on the search for the quest. Within the walls of man, it makes it hard to progress because it's filled up with hatred and it's ran by greed. I'm finna follow nature into the land of the free. I'ma fight for my freedom, scream and cry for my freedom. I live my life for my freedom, willing to die for my freedom. I'ma fight for my freedom, scream and cry for my freedom. I live my life for my freedom, willing to die for my freedom. I've been riding around for quite a while, strolling down a hopeless route, but I can't go back, I can't do that. The sheriff's looking for me and he wants me bad. I'm a wanted man, reward for dead or alive. I'm an outlaw and there's just nowhere to hide. I'm an outlaw and there's just nowhere to hide. I'm an outlaw and there's just nowhere to hide. I've been riding around for quite a while, strolling down this hopeless route, but I can't go back, I can't do that. The sheriff's looking for me and he wants me bad. I'm a wanted man, reward for dead or alive. I'm an outlaw and there's just nowhere to hide. I'm an outlaw and there's just nowhere to hide. I'm an outlaw and there's just nowhere to hide. Thank you. Give it up for my drummer, Chopsticks. We having a good time so far? Yeah. All right. So this next one is Stuck in the Loop, and I'm gonna ask for a little crowd participation on this one. So I'm gonna say Stuck in the Loop, and I'm gonna have you say, my days feel like it's just repeating. You think you can do that? Okay, yep, so we're gonna try it. Stuck in the loop. Stuck in the loop. One more time. Stuck in the loop. Can you start that one for me? Stuck in the loop. Yes. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes my days feel like they're just going on repeat and repeat and repeat. But it can be a good thing. If you save a penny a day, eventually you have just $3.65 at the end of the year. I was thinking $1, just a penny. Stuck in a loop. All right. My days feel like it's, check it out. Stuck in a loop, my days feel like it's just repeating. I guess that's the circle of life, season after season. Same song, same dance, same rhyme and reason. Same group of folks trying to figure out what I believe in. But I move solo, I'm seeking what I don't know. Sometimes the weight of the world has me leaning like a cholo. I'm needing to let go and find peace inside my own soul. Take some time to sit, wonder my mind a bit. I have so much anticipation for greatness, and sometimes that makes me anxious. Still waiting on patience, meditating affirmations, navigating through the hatred. Feeling very uneducated, so it's back to the basics. It takes effort to be free. The change better start with me. I'm flame feather on the breeze, or you can just call me DK. I shape letters to the beat. Play no games, never compete. This tape record's on repeat. I live this each day. I stimulate you physically like a coffee shop and elevate you mentally like a school. The way I move you spiritually will have you thinking we're in church, but my creator didn't make me a fool. I go far beyond this wall. No Pink Floyd. Don't put yourself into a prison. Be careful what you think, boy. Words shape our world, so I try not to talk a lot, but but DK is only human. Sometimes I talk a lot. Stuck in a loop, my days feel like it's just repeating. I guess that's the circle of life, season after season. Same song, same dance, same rhyme and reason. Same group of folks trying to figure out what I believe in. But I move solo, I'm seeking what I don't know. Sometimes the weight of the world has me leaning like a cholo. I'm needing to let go and find peace inside my own soul. Take some time to sit, wonder my mind a bit. I strive to be silent while remaining vibrant. I fight for freedom without being violent. I'm riding these waves like I was Poseidon with this trident. My soul is like an island where it's quiet. I'm working my way back to nature. I'm picking up the pieces my ancestors left behind. We still want truth, justice, and peace. Please press rewind. With religion, politics, and superstars, life is less divine. All these fictitious characters leave such a messy mind. Stuck in a loop, my days feel like it's just repeating. I guess that's the circle of life, season after season. Same song, same dance, same rhyme and reason. Same group of folks trying to figure out what I believe in. But I'm on solo, I'm seeking what I don't know. Sometimes the weight of the world has me leaning like a cholo. I'm needing to let go and find peace inside my own soul. Take some time to sit, wonder my mind a bit. You ready for it? Here we go. Stuck in a loop. Stuck in a loop. Yes. Days feel like it's. Thank you. I work with kids all week. I lost to a 5th grader in chess, so I started a chess club. I only started the chess club because I want to be able to show the relation to the way you play chess and just life. I'm not necessarily like, I've only learned my own strategies. I've never studied anywhere else. And I got beat by a 5th grader, so now I'm watching all the YouTube videos. I need all the strategies. I got like little things that I know, but yeah, I'm not gonna let that happen again, because then they start talking in the school, and we ain't shut that down. But I want to leave y'all with just some reminder, because sometimes we forget when we're going through the discipline and the things throughout the day, throughout the week, all of the stuff that we have to do and complete and get done and repeat and stuck in the loop. At the end of the day, the grass is greener on the other side. And I feel like once we get closer to the finish line, that's when the devil starts to fight us, and we start to, the evil starts to pull us back because they don't want us to get to that finish line. And that happens to me almost every single week, every single day. I have a pregnant fiance. I have a 3-year-old running around. I'm at schools all week. I'm trying to make money as well. And I get, every time I get a little closer, I start getting this pullback, and I almost quit and give up. And then I show up here. I'm here today, and it's like, dang, this was actually great. I'm glad to be here. So let's do it. Grass is greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. It's plain to see. I've been seeking a deeper connection down to the root. Nowadays, they're afraid to touch the ground with their foot. Peace can be found in the woods. Please try to smile if you could. The things that are worth it in life can take a while, but it's good to take things slow. We need rainy weather to make things grow. Looking at these streams as I create these flows. I took my shoes off and had to go relearn to play. There goes them 3 little birds again, and I heard them say, hey yo, the grass is greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. The grass is green. It's hard to see nature for what she is. A stranger to how we live. Our ignorance to our role endangers those who exist. With every wall, a piece of us is divided. Furthering ourselves from our spiritual guidance. We're born into nature with everything provided. Our spirit needs realigning. Family tree reunited. Almost there, just keep on climbing. And we'll slowly continue to make our way up. Finding God within is how we make love. Intimacy. Listen gently. Your spirit set free. There's more room for growth when your mind is clear and empty. So I took my shoes off and had to relearn to play. There goes them 3 little birds again, and I heard them say, hey yo, the grass is greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. The grass is green. You can sing it with me. Yeah. The grass is greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. Don't forget, the grass is greener on the other side. The grass is green, Bishop Hill. The grass is greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. You can't forget, because like I said, washing the dishes constantly, having to fold the laundry, having to show up to work, having to smile when you don't want to smile, having to do all these things that it takes to be a human every single day. It can be really hard to remember that the grass is greener on the other side. We don't think of the positive things. I'm working on the kids this week about gratitude. These juvenile kids, these 15-year-olds, some of them have murdered people. And they said they've never thought about gratitude. And they never thought of that and put their mind into that. And they didn't realize how hard it was to find the positive thing. So don't forget, the grass is green. Thank you. Thank you. I had fun today. Great fun. It was worth the drive. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Aubs, thank you.
DK, you've left your phone on the stage at belt number 1. Hey, can we get it for DK one more time and Dede as well? Like, it's so dope. It's I'm always like, speaking of gratitude, you know, it's one of the things I'm grateful for when it comes to like doing art is like being able to like create alongside creators that aren't just dope at what they do, but like have like a good intention in why they do it. You know, I think that just makes it all the more better when you can do art with good people. Like, it just makes art even better, you know? Like, so I definitely appreciate you, because that last song is one of my favorites. Like, you know, that's like my favorite song. Like, that's like my little mantra, you know? I love that. So I definitely appreciate that. And it's a good kind of setup for the set and just continuing to kind of like spread good energy, you know, for the rest of the night. So, like I said, we're going to be doing a little bit of everything. So I'm going to be doing some poetry. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Aubs. So I do stuff as a poet, as a creative first when it comes to poetry. Poetry is kind of like the conduit in which kind of like inspired me to do a lot of stuff that I do now when it comes to education. I run a nonprofit called Young Lions Roar. And I've done some work actually in the schools thanks to John and Tom as well. So I've done a lot of work with students with kind of teaching them how to write poetry, create their own narratives, and be able to make their own voice, you know. So doing all those things I do with art kind of came from the love of just writing poetry. You know, that's my first thing that kind of like really made me the person who I am. So we're going to be doing some poetry tonight, some spoken word poetry as well, and some music. So for those of y'all that don't know spoken word poetry, I want to introduce you a little bit to the culture. So when people kind of like share poetry, share narratives through poetry, there's something that the audience does, because y'all being the audience members have a big part of just like the participation and the performance, and that's through snapping. Can we all snap real quick? Yeah, see, he knows. Perfect. I love it. So feel free to do that. If you hear something that kind of like resonates with you, something that kind of like hits deeply, you know, snap and just kind of let us know that you're kind of with it and that what's being said kind of resonates with you. Feel free to do that during and after as well. So what was that? Yeah, it is. Yeah, see, you know, that's what's up. See, I love that. I love that you know that. That's dope. You know, it makes you feel at home now. We're going to have a good night. So this first piece I'm going to do is actually a newer piece. In that it's going to be my next book. I've written 3 poetry books so far. One of them I have right here, called As Good As Written. I published it last year, and I'm like currently working on my next one with the other plethora of other projects. But this poem is called You've Been Here Before, and the title is kind of like a little mantra that I do for myself. You know, when I kind of like am struggling with like anxious thoughts, like depressive thoughts, like stressful thoughts, I kind of tell myself in my head like that I've been here before, like this stress or this anxiety. It may feel unique. It may even look unique. It may just look like the most like biggest mountain ever, but I've been through it before. And because I've been through it and lived through it the first time, I can get through it again. So with y'all's participation, I want y'all to kind of like do a call and response so that we have this kind of like make this like mantra ours if we can. So it's you've been here before. So when y'all hear me say that, I want y'all to say it as well and kind of repeat it. So you've been here before. Perfect. You've been here before. Okay, perfect. I love it. Let's get started. fears find themselves in that first breath you breathe in the morning, reflecting themselves in your cup of coffee, remember, you've been here before. You've swam through this pool of anxiety, drenched and soaking in cynicism. Palms sweat as mind races in wrong direction and believe you can't turn things around in this path, but you've been bending corners since birth. Beat billions of seeds to fertile grounds and grew to blossom air in your lungs, and in same wind, you fought many battles. Some with parents, some with siblings, and some with self. That part of you that sees mountains and shudders, trembles to trials and tribulations, taking forms of tests and entrance exams you taken 2 times 2 times. Don't falter, fam. This feeling's familiar. You've been here before. Them failures you witness when confidence reviews, yet yielded more lessons than study plans you peruse. Them tears nicking heart were short-lived and you're still living, lifting weights that once crushed you. You've been here before. Standing face to face with withdrawals, insufficient funds that run across receipt. In times you need gas and food to eat. Mind spiraling in the hole cause you in the hole. Scarred by scarcity though healed in abundance. Don't let heart decline due to decline. Don't let inward system shut down in presence of suffering. She's just trying to show you how to dance. She ain't moving too fast. You just lost your balance. Take a breath, fam. Don't this feel familiar? That mind trick telling you that you will die 1,000 deaths, though you live through thousands of threats that formed like weapons that will cut deep, yet too dull to sever what gut reaps. Ain't it beautiful how we show up for self the worst afflictions? Ascend ball and chain when curse is lifted. We've been through this before, it's just that it looks different. So, when fears find themselves in that first breath you breathe in the morning, reflecting themselves in your cup of coffee, remember, you've been here before. Failed tests, flimsy finances, burnt bridges, rejection. You've been here before. Heartbreak, dark space, dim light, hard place. You've been here before. Done won this battle billions of times, and we will win a billion more till we don't have to anymore because we've been here before. And that's it. Thank y'all. That's a good start. Thank y'all. So one thing that I like about kind of like what I like about poetry is that like it's an art form where you don't really need any accompaniment but your voice. You know, it's one thing that kind of like makes me anxious sometimes because I'm like, dang, all they're listening to me is right now is just every word that I'm saying, so I better be saying the right things, you know. But it's also like a powerful thing. I feel like it's like one of those only art forms that like it just needs the words themselves, you know, and there's like power in that. So like with that considered, I always kind of get contacted to do like events that go along with like certain holidays, you know. So I wrote this piece for Martin Luther King Day for an event we had in Rock Island for Martin Luther King Day, and I just kind of took this quote from Martin Luther King about rocks rolling and how like the justice doesn't roll unless we kind of make that movement happen. So I wrote this piece called Rocks Don't Roll, and like I've only performed it I think at that event, maybe one other event, because I'm always just like super like, man, this poem is probably like only like relevant here. Maybe later it'll be kind of be like but you know, I think like poetry, the thing about it is that like it has a timelessness as long as you kind of tell truth with it. So I want to share that piece with y'all called Rocks Don't Roll. Somewhere I read that rocks don't roll on their own. Rocks don't roll on their own. They be as stubborn as the big ones that left Sisyphus stuck. I heard this myth from a student who said he was cursed to a lifetime of pushing a boulder up a hill he'd never conquer. Without luxury of rest, water break, moment of belief that progress be worth breaking a back, be worth every extra push-up at the practice, be worth A+ work you put in just to be average, just to see self once again at rock bottom, spiraling down after so much self-work, after so much sit-ins, stand-ups, speeches, marches, protests, leave your body plagued with so much doubt that deflated that flame that used to be so pumped up in your chest, that used to give your fear-stricken heart sips of liquid courage, intoxicating it with a spirit willing to war with wrongs, though now we in trenches, holding our dear breath for someone who's strong, but there ain't no Supermans around here. and rocks don't roll on their own. They be hard as temptations to be beguiled by bliss. Turn backs in hopes that ignorance pulls us in as we give out with no denial by kiss. Allow ears to grow deaf to cries of dying, though we're reviled by hiss. But that's how illusions form, having you see that long mile by mist. Go blind while fingers become illiterate to braille bound to broke bodies, making us unable to understand by simply feeling. Hoping some gust of wind comes and comforts those denied rights of simply healing. Praying someone else opens up roof for roofless, because in fear you simply ceiling. Waiting for someone else to gamble their life for liberty, because you simply dealing. Putting all your chips on your shoulders, making excuses for not pushing your boulders. Because struggle of strain brings with it so much pain. From Fred, Malcolm, and Martin, prophets lost their life saving others. And though you want change, you don't want to lose after having so much gain, but rocks don't roll on their own. Just like how healing don't happen till you realize you hurt, or how problems still gonna be there even if you turn your back and act like they ain't gonna be there. Rocks don't roll on their own. They're gonna come for you. They're gonna challenge you to come outside yourself. That self that loves warmth of peace but flinches at friction. The self that sees them wheels stuck in snow and shivers at the thought of having to brave storms and push past cold cracking joints and constant falling. Change ain't pretty. Who said she was pretty? Ask Caterpillar what it's like in that cocoon. She'll probably tell you that it's messy, body shifting, demanding, calling forth power you long shut down the system of your body. It's going to both make you and break you. And it may take you years to see that land promised, though you probably won't see promised land, but rocks don't roll on their own. Rocks don't roll on their own. They're going to call for some struggle, some push, some sacrifice, but rocks don't roll on their own. And that's that piece. I appreciate y'all's kind of just like receptiveness. I know when it comes to poetry, kind of like it kind of being this this art form that like many are still don't like understand fully. It's easy for some people to kind of listen and then kind of like only listen and not really hear what you're saying. So the fact that y'all all like really hearing what I'm saying, like I really enjoy that. So thank y'all for being present with all that, because I know it's hard. Poetry's hard sometimes, you know. Yes, absolutely. I thank you for that. That's what art's for, you know. You got to speak truth to the art.
I especially like that short phrase. You have to hurt before you can heal.
Yes, yeah. It's just like you got to realize you hurt before you can heal. You can't ignore it. You got to admit it, you know.
Keep ignoring it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna talk at some point. Through stubbed toes and late calls and stuff, you know. So definitely appreciate that. So what I'm gonna be doing, one thing that I've been like really trying to practice as of lately is kind of being able to like practice more of the art of reading poetry. I think there's part of me that like, because like my first poem I ever like performed was like memorized. I kind of always like set that bar of like, anytime I share a poem, I gotta memorize it. That's gotta be there, which is good. I think you should always have that like standard, but realize at the end of the day, it's like, man, like people like good stories. The stories can be told whether it's in your mind or like reading off what your like books and whatever, you know. So I'm definitely trying to get to that practice more of like reading poems and just realizing that like it's all kind of sharing kind of narratives that like y'all will enjoy because it's a narrative, you know, that holds truth. So what I wanted to do was kind of share some poems from my recent book, It Is Good, It Is Written, and some new pieces as well. So there's a piece, since DK was talking about how he like works with kids and all that stuff earlier and like how he got beat by a 5th grader, I actually got you beat. I got beat by a 4th grader 3 times this week. And I got beat so bad that one of the other kids started crying because I got beat. Like this man, it was the most funniest thing ever. I'm sitting here like trying to pay attention to the classroom and then play chess. You know, you got to do multitasking. You're not going to be all the way in there.
I didn't bring that up because I want to make it seem like I had excuses.
Oh, you know. Yeah, right. It's not an excuse if it's true, right? But I'm sitting here playing this kid in chess, and like every time I'd like make a move, not paying attention, this kid would like, the kid who started crying would like look over me and it's like, oh my gosh, Mr. Harper's making the most stupidest moves. And I'm like, man, like we got some anchor management to gotta work around this. It's like, you're not even playing, bro. Like, sheesh. I was like, how you get mad, so mad that you cried and you wasn't even playing? Like, I hate to see you during sports season or something. Sheesh. But I love those moments with kids though, because it kind of makes the stress of the job, the stress that teaching can be. It makes it all the more like, man, it's fun, you know. What was that? You know, it's funny, and it was after he told me, he's like, you know what, like, I'm sorry, Mr. Aubrey, this is why my mom just let me play board games at home. And I'm like, I can see. It's like, let's bust out that IAP and like work on some anger management skills with Crick, bro. We got you. But I wanted to share a piece actually in this book. Like, there's a lot of things I talk about in this book, from just like racial issues, things that happen with me personally, and just things that we need to hear, you know, that give us a sense of hope. But I wrote a lot about students, you know, because I've worked with students for the last 7 years. Outside of what I do with my nonprofit, like I worked with like at-risk students for like 6-7 years, and I just accepted like this 4th grade teaching position at a school in Bettendorf called Rivermont Collegiate. So like, when I'm not writing music or doing poetry, like it's like I'm spending time with like kids, so it makes sense, and my art kind of reflects that, you know. So I'm gonna find this piece for y'all real quick. It's called Bars for Kids Prelude, Bars for Black Kids Prelude. If I could give my 7-year-old self a riddle to wrestle with, it'd be this: kids do not belong in boxes, just as stars don't belong in buckets. But knowing him, he would quickly forget while walking home with ice cube over fresh brews, given by bullies who heckled his flesh hue, that came with a couple contradictions. A black boy with no knowledge of hip-hop nor tongue that artfully altered English like, he ain't really black like we is, or bruh, white, he ain't really on what we is. From kindergarten days to prom dates, he'd hear his existence shared in the same sentence as mistake. A great Arab meshed with melanin that would hide self-doubts behind hella friends. Boys who bore same skin shades and hair textures but different narratives and neighbors, but maybe much more similar than seemed. You don't dare risk being the butt of black jokes, though. Pearls sure have a way of becoming petty punchlines from peers who you trusted as a safe places for the parts of you that you kept outside of closet. So you learn to live in Halloween through collections of costumes that you'd hide behind, unaware of brightness you bear, one made perfect in body and brain, both intelligently designed by divine, every complex part completely God-given, not bound by laws, rules, and regulations that only look to put out inner embers when God looks to breathe life within them. If I could give my 7-year-old self a riddle to wrestle with, it'd be this: kids do not belong in boxes, just as stars don't belong in buckets. But knowing him, he probably wouldn't understand. And I tell him, don't worry, I'm still trying to learn what this means too. And that's that piece. Thank y'all, I really appreciate that. So if you like that piece, like I said, I got a book full of them. So I have my book actually in a couple places in the Quad Cities. The Figgy Arts Museum being one of them. The Artsy Bookworm, if y'all heard of it, it's a really awesome bookstore in Rock Island. Really awesome person. Tamara is the one who owns it. Really awesome, amazing human being. And the Brood Books. So between those 3 places, you'll be able to find the book. It is good. It is written. One of my favorite books thus far, you know, that I've written, just because like the truth that it tells and what it was to me in the season that I kind of wrote it. But I want to share some new pieces with y'all, some that I haven't really had this chance to share with people. They're actually going to be a part of my new book that I'm currently working on right now. And I got some little excerpts that I kind of would share with y'all from the book. This poem's called Up Here, and I wrote this. So I wrote this piece, I think about 2 years. I think it's about 2 years now when I originally left my at-risk teaching position, just on kind of like wanting to kind of like feeling kind of like I was being pulled towards different things in life when it comes to like starting the nonprofit that I was doing and all that. And it came with a lot of risk, you know, like when you kind of jump out of a job, I mean, you don't have no salary no more. Don't got the certainty of like this or that kind of coming in and all that. So I had all these kind of like worries that I was kind of like wrestling with. And that same day, I think I quit the day before Thanksgiving and all this, and like went to go see my sister in Nashville and all this. And I got onto the plane with all these worries in my brain, like, dang, I want to think about this Nashville trip, but what am I going to do when I come back home in 2 weeks? Like, you know, but as I was kind of like on the plane, I was kind of just looking down at like everything like under me, just all like just how like the cornfields just look a lot more minimized, how cars, like the most like fanciest car looks like a dot, like an ant, you know. And I was kind of realizing in that time, I was like, man, like all the stuff that I'm worrying about down there, it's such a small place down there. Like I have all these thoughts that I've taken like 5,000 feet above me, and then to keep them there, you know. So this piece is kind of like the reflection of that little experience called Up Here. I think I understand why people prefer the window seat on planes. Think about how nice it's got to be to see the surface for who she really is. You know that feeling right before takeoff, that warmth in your chest as you see life passing by progressively faster, yet you feel no panic. Remaining present to those speeds of life is hectic. Future becoming past in the blink of an eye, of a sunset becoming sunrise. Your high school graduation turning 10 years old overnight. Time has always been a bullet blast, impossible to intercept. But as ground below becomes distant as memories, so time is seen as the fiction that she's always been. Like your petty ponderings you be letting plague your mind. Bills, job searches, burdens, likes, streams, views, trophies, proving to everyone that you the best, though you can't really tell from up here. You can see the moss and rust eating away at our treasures and showing us it's nothing. There's someone down there who spent 70 bands on a car just now, and you can't see it from up here. Stupid, from up here. And that's up here. So I got this other little piece. I haven't touched this in a while, so I'm definitely curious to kind of like hear what it's like in open air, because y'all be the first ones who kind of hear it. But I wrote it just about Superman and how like Superman, as awesome of a super character he was just very confusing too. Like out of all the great and amazing things Superman did, like it came at like billions of dollars worth of damage with buildings. Messing up liability insurance for others. So I'm like, man, I'm just very conflicted. Superman, you've done a lot, but you just punched Lex Luthor through 10 houses right now. And they're all low income. It's like, I'm conflicted, man. I'm conflicted. So I wrote this poem with that considered. Can we admit that Clark Kent was hella confusing? He was actually sort of a psychopath if you think about it. He'd wake up in this morning, say hi to his neighbors, hop on the bus, then say bye to his neighbors. 5 hours later, throws Lex Luthor right through the house of his neighbors. And he'd even bother to check up on his neighbors. Yeah, Joker may have kind of blew up some buildings, but Superman destroyed infrastructure. Flew through towers to capture supervillains, and didn't give a thought about how they'd fall on fathers and children. Can we admit that Clark Kent was hella confusing? He was actually sort of a psychopath, but don't he sound sort of familiar? To me, he sounds like 1492, ship sailing to take some freedom, Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria. Aliens traveling from one space to another, landed, created borders, but not before the muzzle, blew through the chest of quote-unquote native neighbors. And somehow the teacher told us that Columbus was sort of a savior who molded America like some sort of creator. Crafted Christianity, said that God was favored, more prominent, more dominant. Bible-inspired crusades of congregants, collapsing communities in the name of Mayflower documents, believing they were saving the world with foolish obstinance. Can we admit that that was hella confusing? That maybe they had sort of psychopathic tendencies, but don't they sound sort of familiar? Don't they sound like us? And that's that piece. And you know, it's wild. So I just kind of like read that piece, and like to me, that was like an unfinished piece. But as I kind of read that and kind of like I kind of freestyled that little ending, I'm like, that's actually, I feel like it's a perfect ending. so now I thank y'all for letting me share that, because now I don't think I need to add any more to that. I think I said what I needed to say. Yeah. So today's Earth Day. I don't know if like y'all familiar with that. Yeah. So yeah. So I want to do a poem kind of like relating to Earth Day in a way. So this month I got reached out to by Augustana College, who I've done a lot of work with when it comes to like work with like kids in community and stuff. But they reached out to me to do an event for them, to be a keynote speaker for an event they have called Take Back the Night, which is kind of just like talking about like sexual abuse and like how it's affected people's narratives and all that. And like I really like was humbled by the opportunity, and part of me still like, man, did they pick the right person to to talk on this, you know? But I think it's just because of the art that I kind of share, kind of like shares a sort of truth. So I feel like they kind of see that kind of like going well through like the things I kind of share in that. But as I kind of like meditated on kind of like what Take the Back the Night was for me, I wrote this poem after I was kind of going on a hike with my wife. And what park were we at? We were like in was it Wildcat Den? Oh yeah. Well, it was the the play. Remember when we stayed in my car because I'm like I don't want to get the car because I know those people and I was like super introverted. What was that park? So it was Wildcat. Okay, cool. So it was Wildcat Den, you know. So like I was walking around like Wildcat Den, and like I kind of came up with this inspiration of this poem just during that walk. So I want to share that with y'all real quick. Next time you walk amongst the trees, the soil, the buds, and the bees, you should ponder the pine tree. Has it dawned on you why the evergreen is called an evergreen? Why branches of other bark bow out, but her hand never leaves? It don't mean that she ain't thought about hiding from cold. She's just been conditioned to do as she's told. Look pretty through permafrost, freeze, the fire burns deeply in roots, stay silent while wails of oaks getting axed echo through woods. Yeah, they've been raising their voice, but we just keep cutting them down. We protest their rings, call their tears propaganda. Tell them that they're a waste of breath like they ain't give us breath to breathe. You know how trees been backslapping man-made air filters from the jump, absorbing 48 pounds of our pollution a year, yet we say they're poison. Like it ain't our literacy. With all these books, still choosing to be misread. Make them aim, take our shots, erase our pencil, hide our shavings, say she's misled. Closing our ears to empathy because we ain't trying to hear what Miss said. But what do you expect from dudes who learned how to respect rainforests from tree choppers? Who only taught us how to swing, whose footprints left so much soil eroded, who put broken glass and trash to be picked up, left litter to scatter through land, and trusted their advice on how to respect Mother Earth. These fools were bringing out Mother's worst and got the nerve to wonder why her mood switched. Wonder why her climate changed when we come around. How her rage has a way of making everyone in the land slide. Tell her that she can't blow up when he landmined. The ones weak, they gotta tiptoe around, lest they wanna shake the ground. Like we ain't the reason for it to be, like they ain't got no reason to be thunder. Got no reason to spark forest fire. Got no reason to look at us funny when we wander the trails. Hearing the hiss from amongst the leaves, the chirps telling birds to retreat, an energy that feels like running away, but really is a sign of reclaiming space. Y'all should take time to ponder the power. How trees stand 10 toes even when their foundation is being ripped from under them. How stumps still square up even when thought to be defeated, refusing to let deforestation punk them out of their home, refusing to let you live in their roots rent-free. Them redwoods ain't folding for nobody. It ain't just the woods reclaiming their space. Notice how moon doesn't leave things in the dark. We always come back to take back the night. Notice how wind's voice always seems to shatter the glass house of silence. Notice how vines climb up brick houses over time. How grass resurrects even when green leaves made volatile. It don't mean they ain't thought about staying cut down, distraught. They just learned that they stories matter in this plot. So, next time you walk amongst the trees, the soil, the buds, and the bees, you should ponder the pine tree. You should ponder the pine tree. And that's that piece. Appreciate y'all. So I'm gonna share one little spoken word piece with y'all, and then we're gonna get into the music end of things, and have my brother King Supreme doing more of his DJing and ones and twos and rap stuff. So this piece is kind of just open up that. So like I said, like when it comes to poetry, maybe I didn't say this, but when it comes to poetry, I always tell like my students that I kind of feel like a fish out of water because like what inspired me to write poetry was rap. You know, like when I was a seventh grader and I kind of had that freedom of like walking home and being home like 48 minutes before my parents because they'd be at work. I'd always just kind of like watch BET and watch like The Basement, 106 and Park and all that. And it really kind of like would open my world to like open my eyes to like how words could be so like used different and all that. So the poets who like really influenced me were like poets like Nas, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, and like artists like that. Artists who people kind of like think of not as poets just because like the art form of rap has been given such like a bad stigma, I think. But I always remind my students and people that just as DK said, like when it comes to rap has been one of those art forms that really let us know what's going on socially. You know, when you think about NWA, when you think about all these groups who have done stuff like when it comes to rap, Tupac, you know, like they've all taught us something about society that like we would have like been ignorant to if they didn't share their stories, didn't share their narratives and all that. So for me, that's what rap has kind of been for me. It's been kind of like this tool that kind of like this art form that's kind of like shown me myself, but also showed me the world around me, and it kind of has taught me how to like move according to the world, and also how to transform also with all the craziness that kind of goes on. So this piece is kind of an ode to the art form that kind of influenced me. So don't act like gangster rap ain't raised you, like you ain't influenced by these streets, remotely controlled by hard hip hop beats which your parents deemed degenerate, rehearsed rhymes riddled with rhetoric that make Reagan roll round casket. I mean, boys in the hood made boys who were good trade in suspenders for street fashion. You know, FUBU, forces, face flags, and fitted caps. Dress part and practice with pen and pad, perfecting poetry through spitting raps. Real talk. We learned more from lunchtime table ciphers than we did from fifth period English. And considered Nas more distinguished than poets whose prose put us to sleep. Yeah, I mean, Shakespeare was sharp as Scarface. He pierced deep. Don't act like gangster rap ain't raised you. Like you wasn't talked into sipping gin and juice because Snoop Dogg made it sound smooth. I heard a laugh, see? Yeah, see? The homie Dre's chronic stayed cotton head, anchoring down eyes induced by highs, music drugged and tugged you out of sneakers and the shoes of hustlers you've never met. Tongue speaking a foreign language, saying slang you've never said. Walking with the swagger, seen as silly to people not privy to Tupac and Biggie. Residents who've never left rural region, where they consider rap noise that was written by demons, but your ears heard nothing but echoes of angels. Beings whose lungs sung the holiest of hymns that spill from Thug's mansion. Black bodies whose souls and spirits poured out so much passion. Don't act like gangster rap ain't raised you. Like you was never tempted to chant, in the words of NWA, F the police. Though the town sheriff lived rotting your street. Same one that drove you back home last week after catching you throwing tags in City Hall. There were two of y'all, but you wanted to take the fall for Jaren, because you're conscious of curse he's bearing, knowing black boys get bruised and beat by boys in blue, and all your homies held darker hues. Went to different schools, abide by different rules. Hip-hop gave you lens, though you had different views. As your broke-down Buick blared narratives of NWA, prolific poets plagued by crack epidemic. Ghetto grants took pain and penned poetry on pad, laid down lines written in rage on wax, telling of tension between cops and blacks, lifting America's flag from over our faults, making sense of earthquakes that left homes broken, tremors that skeptics still scrutinize because their solid foundation never felt flimsy. But those who sat with vibrations from verses understood a world they were birthed in. A world where hearing gunshots ringing while walking home ain't bring no alarm. A world where single parents would break down and cook crack when put under pressure about a few blocks down from their unit so kids wouldn't grow up to copy what mom or dad did to keep roof up. You may have grown out of touch with tales, just like me. You may even shake your head every time you hear the gangster rap on the radio, just like me, but don't act like gangster rap ain't raised you. And that's that piece. Thank you, folks. So with that, we're going to, I thank y'all for being present through all that art and all the storytelling. You know, I definitely, I always tell my students that, like, art provokes thought, which provokes conversation. So I'm definitely curious to kind of hear how certain pieces kind of resonated with y'all. So definitely want to kind of, like, talk to y'all about that and kind of hear your thoughts and your narratives, too. Because that's the fun thing about art. It builds community in the sense that it builds communication, you know, and conversation. So we're going to get into some rap stuff. How are you feeling, King Supreme? You feeling good? Okay, can we give it for King Supreme one more time, too? I've been working with this brother for a good minute, through many shows and all that. We're actually talking the way up here. Like, we were kind of like the first, like, rap. And John, you let me know if I'm wrong, too. Like, I think we were, like, the first rap performance that's, like, been at, like, at the Bishop Hill here, right? Am I right? Yeah, I think that's what it was. So it's cool to kind of... Oh yeah. See, they know they're the fans. See, I can trust their judgment in that. So it's kind of cool to kind of share art, the art of rap with y'all, and just to kind of the different narrative. You know, I always tell my students that rap is like poetry. You just putting a beat behind it. You know, it's rap's kind of like the if rap and poetry were at a family barbecue. Rap would be like the cousin who's like basketball, who's like varsity in basketball, going D1, and like poetry would be kind of like that Ivy League student who kind of is just like doesn't do sports, but is just super smart, you know. But they all in the same family, you know. So we're gonna do some rap stuff. Let's do Supreme Ether first. So this is off a little project I did with Preston way back when called In and Out of It. It's one of my favorite songs too. So we'll just give that to them first. Supreme Ether. Can I talk for a minute? I've been so up it and in it. Way down heavily in spirit. Depression double down and I'm fearing. That grim reaper runs near it. Next to my kin and my parents. Apparently they say the world is burning. Business shut down. Ain't no dollar earning. My friends getting drunk now. Say their stomachs turning. All of the realities they yearning. Good news music be the that they yearning. I agree. Let me give you warning. You can take no bag on this journey. Do not boast and brag on this journey. You will be exposed on this journey. You will not be asked to vote for Bernie. You cannot rely on an attorney. You will be confronted by your worries. Your path will look a little blurry. You may feel judged like a jury is watching. That be the discomfort that comes with being conscious. Embrace it, fam. Do not try to stop it. Embrace it, fam. Do not try to stop it. Embrace it, fam. Do not try to... My persuasion's meditation and anticipation that God will show up in the darkest spaces, regardless if they vacant, empty, in any loving spaces. You are a vessel bearing greatness, great patience, great sages, sit within attendance, giving wisdom, benefiting all the little children. You cannot hear them though, you're too busy being villains. Find it more fulfilling to be dealing blows to whoever in the building, casting anybody while they chillin', casting stones at dudes like they villains, like we ain't got mind of a villain. We be satisfied by the killing. We want blood to be spilling. Genocide preached by the millions. We as bad as enemies we witness from White House to the prisons. This is not a song for features. This is a song to give them supreme ether. This is a song to give them supreme ether. This is a song to give them supreme ether. This is a song to give them supreme ether. Hey, this is a song to give them supreme ether. The intro for the introverted and the introspective. Those upon the picket fence between these two dimensions. The path of what is seen and what our senses sensing. Where your strength is built by what you mention. It's built by being present in the present. Let no breath of hate kill your essence. Guard yourself from the hands of the wicked, the mans of the picky. These times can be tricky. Relationships abusive, Bob and Whitney. Bob and weaving quickly. Fighting my own shadow that is shadow. I'm benefiting from them gallows, but I broke away from bondage. Sought out higher knowledge, nothing that I could have caught in college. Learning the duality of understanding pains of the people, anger of the people, the battle between demons. But understand I conquered all them legions. Understand I conquered all them legions. That's that first one. So that's just a fun first one. So we're gonna get some. We're gonna do some new stuff next. So I know, like I feel like whenever you share art with people, it's always like new people. Your art's always gonna be new. But like I feel like this is due in terms of like I just wrote this and recorded it like 2 months ago. So for a project that I'm putting out soon called From the Dirt, which pretty much just talks about just kind of like blooming out of like chaotic situations and still being able to like grow from them. So this is one of the songs on the project. It's called Good Old Days. And actually the funny thing about the song is I was doing laundry. My wife had me go and do laundry for her like it was like a couple months back. And I was at this laundromat. And like while I was there, I had this whole idea for a song. I was, dang, let's put some extra quarters in this dryer real quick so I can write. I get my coach like, you been gone for 4 hours. Like, hey man, when you get that I was like, when you get that inspiration, this is how it be. So I'm sitting there just popping in quarters. Okay, almost done. But it's a really like a dope song in the sense of it's just like it just feels hip hop. It just feels like authentic. It feels like old school and like the stuff that kind of inspired me. So it's why I like the song. So I'm happy to share with y'all. The song's called Good Old Days, but the beat's called Fate. Is what the beat's called. What happened to the good old days? What happened to the good old days? Y'all can say it with me too. What happened to the good old days? What happened to the good old days? I come from that Taco John cross that laundry mat. Do not leave your dryer unwashed, won't get your laundry back. Cost like a leg and an arm, cost like a heart and a head. Locked up but feeling the dread, don't share your dreams with the dead. They don't know not but the graveyard. Play this game like checkers, it is spades, they don't save cards. I never talk about my tactics, I let them sit back and be witness to the magic. Making something they thought was nothing. Give me fish and loaves, we eating outside the function. Matter of fact, we eat so much, forget the function. I'm trying to spit bars at burps like it is nothing. I just make it look easy. 10,000 hours what it costs, bruh, believe me. They be trying to find an easy way out, spread themselves out for the profit, but what's the payout? I said, what happened to the good old days? What happened to the good old days? What happened to the good old days? The good old days. Hey, what happened to the good old days? What happened to the good old days? What happened to the good old days? The good old days. I come from the highest of higher learning. Yeah, them teachers lied, cause where is my higher earning? My teaching wedge was looking tragic. Not to mention they don't like teachers looking this nappy. What? My worth is bigger than these pay stubs. Y'all ain't finna put stress on shoulders, I have my bay rub. I'm too out of box for the cubicle. Trying to get all of these dollars out of these cuticles. Lord, forgive me for all my ways. I'm in a daze phase, estranged from who I aim. Cause who I aim, claim that fame, the biggest aim. Shame, shame, that is the game these lames play. So it's gang, gang, bang, bang, bang. And what they sang, rock slang, devil with wrist, giant would flinch. Bro turns to bread, the devil got him in pinch. Caught him by the foot, cause brother gave him an inch. What? What happened to the good old days? What happened to the good old days? What happened to the good old days? The good old days. What happened to the good old days? What happened to the good old days? What happened to the good old days? The good old days. The good old days. Yeah. Thank y'all. Yeah, that's just my old good old days. You know, like the good old days when people could. We just had freestyle circles. We still do freestyle circles. Me and DK, we always like, whenever we get together, we're like freestyling for like hours and hours. But I miss that part of like hip hop when that was like prevalently hip hop. We could just do music and have fun, you know, and not worry about all the streaming stuff and all the like little logistics of music. So this next song is called Mirror Mirror is what it's called. This one's another very just like hip hop one. So this one actually I just released. One of my recent projects I just released, I think about 2-3 weeks ago, called Sometimes I Wish I Kept My Eyes Closed. And like it talks about a lot of stuff, but it kind of like mainly was kind of like revolved around kind of like my journey with grief, with kind of like dealing with my brother who passed last year of like suicide and all that. So the project is kind of like this journey of like what grief looks like and how like it kind of like how I kind of process the world in kind of this new way, I guess, and still am processing, you know, because it's kind of like a journey. I don't think grief is ever like a destination. You just continue to gotta go through it, and that's just the thing, you know. So this song was a part of that project. It's called Mirror Mirror, and I just kind of thought of it just kind of organically. I think that's the best places you kind of think of songs when they just kind of come and you don't put too much thought into it and kind of let it speak what's got to be said, especially during like periods of like grief and all that. When you can just let art kind of just speak and don't think about it. I think that's the purest form. So this is one of those songs that kind of mirrors that. It's very like a boom bap Wu-Tang Clan kind of style, so like you'll probably miss kind of like the stuff that it talks about when it comes to like the depression and grief that you deal with, because it's just like it has such a good beat. It's funny because it's like one of those contradicting songs where it's like it's an amazing song, but it's talking about a lot of heavy stuff right now. But that's life, you know. It's just, it's a contradiction every little moment that we live. So Mirror Mirror. Ooh, I love the beat so much too. So when I say mirror, mirror on the wall, y'all say, tell me who's the highest, like the highest in thinking, the highest in like being. Mirror, mirror on the wall. What? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Hey, do you know what the Midwest is? Young and restless, young is reckless. Shorty's making gun investments, rung the weapon. Bullet blew his tongue and chest and breathing heavy liquor, alcoholic. Lungs ingesting rum with Pepsi. Because his cousin Missy, spirit got him telling truth through his tongue confessing. Anyway, this is about what happened in my days. Feeling hot cause I got a degree. Cheesing cause I'm making more cheese. Please, I'm the bee's knees, but they fees. Yeesh, my brother making more off of rapping. My brother making more off of trapping. What happened? I jumped off the ship to be the captain. Cybers can't distract me from my passion. Neither will these being broke habits. They got me in the hellhole, gosh. Dang it. Scraping up change to get gas, just to get gas. Mirror on the wall. Mirror on the wall. Oh, mirror on the wall. Oh, what? I said mirror on the wall. Mirror on the wall. Hey, mirror on the wall. So I want y'all to remember this part of the song, if anything. So I heard that where the mind goes, the body will follow. Been in the belly of the beast where bodies will swallow. I feel hollow, sipping from beer bottles. Cry myself to sleep while getting them pills swallowed, thinking suicide. Cause brother is do or die. Do I want to live in this world or get a suit and tie crucified to all my anger and my frustrations, or transcend the chaos of elevating? Hey, in it, not of it, I'm above it, but still trying to pack what? Cause world is like an oven. They loot us and they shoot us, they be killing by the dozen, but we still fly when we show up at the function. Hey, I'm the man, there ain't no way around it. You can feel the spirit cause it circulates around it. On my brother's God, you can tell by the crown, G. I love life, though that broad tried to drown me. Mirror on the wall. Hey, mirror on the wall. I said, mirror on the wall. What? I said, mirror on the wall. Hey, mirror on the wall. I said, mirror on the wall. I'm gonna say SUPORT again real quick because it's important to know. I heard that where the mind goes, the body will follow. What? Who? Hey, I heard that where the mind goes, the body will follow. What? That's Mirror. I love that song so much because you just kind of feel the spirit behind it, there's just a spirit behind the song I love so much. And a little line that repeated, where the mind goes, the body will follow. I had this mentor at a time who told me that quote, and it always just made me think, like, it always just kind of stayed with me, like, it's true, wherever your mind goes. If your mind goes into happiness, your body's gonna follow. Like, okay, we're just gonna follow into happiness. It goes into despair. It's like, okay, we're just gonna be happy. We're gonna be sad for the next 4 hours. The body is loyal like that. So it's just like, the one thing we can do is like at least lead the body into something cool and good. Like, okay, if y'all gonna follow us, like let's just go through this chaos in the most peaceful way possible, because you're gonna be going with us. The body's cool like that. All right, so the next song we got, what I'm gonna do is called Still Tippin'. So this one's also on the project From the Dirt. And I actually wrote this on my birthday. It's one of those songs that, again, kind of came organically. I was just driving to my friend's house in the morning, like, okay, my 31st birthday, we're gonna just go in the studio and record some stuff. I don't even know what we're gonna record, but as I was driving, this chorus kind of just came to my head. And I think it just kind of like resonated with a lot of stuff that I was kind of processing at the moment, just like being able, again, like it being kind of a part of this project called From the Dirt, just kind of like going through like hard trials and all that and not staying in the dirt, but allowing the dirt to kind of like grow you, transform you, and kind of still go through it regardless of all the hard stuff you go through. So this song's a reflection of that, and I can't wait to share with y'all. And give me some grace, because I can't sing. I know I can't sing, so. I said, all my brothers still tipping, even when the rims ain't still spinning, even when the loss is still winning, even when the saints is still sinning, we still tipping. If you guys want to step, you can step a little bit as I can go to them. Or clap too, you can clap, snap. There we go. Okay. I said, never at a loss of words when I took a loss. Never turned to Judas even when I took a cross. Never turned to violence even when I thought about it. Always held my tongue when the people started doubting. Don't know if it's pride or if it's weakness. Always staying 10 toes down, though feel defeated. Even when my heart been retreated, even when the hairs on my hope get receded, I be looking up to the sparrow to show some guidance. I be looking down at the flower showing such kindness. Though the system still treats us like we is thugs, the little black boys who just need 'em a hug. What? All my brothers still tipping, even when them rims ain't still spinning, even when that loss is still winning. Even when the saints is still sinning, we still tipping. All my brothers still tipping. Even when the rims ain't still spinning. Even when the loss is still winning. Even when the saints is still sinning, we still tipping. Give it up for King Supreme one more time, folks. Yeah, one of my favorite songs. I can't wait till that project's out. Like, that was a really fun song to do. Really fun song. And I have a really awesome dude featuring on this verse. I hope y'all are able to kind of get the song in its fullness for sure. So we're gonna look at this little list. We're gonna refer to the list. What song should we do next? Ratchet Circus. We're gonna do Ratchet Circus next. So this next song is another song that I recorded with my partner, Crime Preston. We actually came with the concept for this song and the project together, like in his attic. And the track's called Ratchet Circus. It's kind of like a reflection of kind of like where we're from, like and where we live. And even though we grew up in like different places, having from Galesburg, Illinois, me from Rock Island, a lot of the craziness we kind of like experienced kind of growing up was about similar, you know, from seeing like random drug deals in front of our households, shootings and all that. So it's kind of just about living in the chaos, and again, just learning how to kind of like maneuver it and still be in a space of like presentness, you know. So this song's got a reflection of that. Ratchet Circus. Oh, my friend from New York too, Young Beats. He produces beat too. Gotta give credit to him too for that. Oh, I said, welcome to the Ratchet Circus, don't be acting nervous. Brothers want a bag, so they steady snatching purses. Bullets overhead like the fans ain't catching verses. Like the waste of memories, but I'll unless the hearses. I said, welcome to the Ratchet Circus, don't be acting nervous. Brothers want a bag, so they steady snatching purses. Bullets overhead like the fans ain't catching verses. Like the waste of memories, but hey, person to person, I need you to hear me, need you to feel me, cause you get near me, don't need you to fear me. They try to steer me in a direction, outside of protection. I was diminished, didn't have image, so I was rejection. They used to call me white boy, said that you can't fight, boy. I had to prove myself, robbing houses in the night, boy. With my brother Travis, who I met at practice, we would run the streets after track. We were the fastest, not the smartest, but skip it, we were still the hardest. Oh, that's what we thought, we were being just what they want, but anyway, I remember like it's yesterday. Travis told me I should grab a K. Life's a wheel of fortune, will you play? Along with the rules, red line in schools. Fix the problem, here is a tool. They gave me a gun, so I gripped it like it was fun. Knowing I had power to take a son out the picture. The God I never pulled in, I was pulling these though. Going home and play with Nintendo. Sleep around until the town, life was so simple. Popping guns, that's what we picked from. Just the other day, a dad was shot up at his funeral. Before his son was buried, his head was buried in bullet holes. Trauma for the mother who carries image and memory. Brother seeking violence, wearing violence on the enemy. Heart trembling. Trauma up on the brain stills, PTSD, but young is living in straight hell. I see it in their faces when they step into my classroom. Bright eyes with no minds, got no question to ask you. Watch us to the Ratchet Circus, don't be acting nervous. Brothers want a bag, so they steady snatching purses. Bullets overhead, like the fans are catching verses. Like the waste of memories, but I'll unless it hurts. I said, welcome to the Ratchet Circus, don't be acting nervous. Brothers want a bag, so they steady snatching purses. Bullets overhead, like the fans are catching verses. Like the waste of memories, but I'll unless the hearses. What? Thank y'all. I want to thank y'all again for being a dope crowd. This is a really dope experience. So I'm glad I was able to kind of share some music, some poems, some thoughts, some feelings with y'all. We have 2 more songs. So like I kind of mentioned, I wrote a project last year, but I just kind of released it as of this year because I was just kind of just like weirded out and like kind of like super self-conscious about the vulnerability of the project, and just kind of like being in that place of like, that human place of being like, man, I don't know what people are going to think about this project, but just kind of hearing people's responses to it. I'm glad I put it out. Just because, like, again, it talked about a lot of like heavy stuff that I was kind of processing. I'm still in process, and talked about a lot of like mental triumphs, And I think after it was that project that I did back after my brother passed away that kind of really kind of shaped, kind of like a shift, I guess, a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, just enough. It shifted my kind of a perspective of like why I do art, And I just kind of realizing that like life is hard. We go through a lot of hard crap, As people, we go through a lot of hard stuff. So I feel like if I can create art that kind of like allows people to know that like, hey, I'm going through the same kind of journey and like we can kind of journey together. I feel like that's a pure, honest way to kind of go about art. So these next songs are kind of like reflecting on a lot of like mental things that I've kind of like overcome and I still am overcoming. So this first song is called Feelings. It's one of my favorite songs just because of the honesty behind it. So we can play Feelings. I said, tell me how you feel. I said, tell me how you feel. 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 I said, tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel. When you down bad, tell me how you deal. When you got scars, how you heal. When you around the fam, is you really real? That's what I be asking myself more than I wanna. I be living in a facade, feel like I gotta. Sometimes I brave, do whatever I wanna. Sometimes I handle the problems with Some's like the dudes who choose to turn to gambling. We all gotta fight, the price comes if it handles me. Making me numb to my emotions. The good goes with bad, can have one and then omit the omens. The tension that's turning you to atonement. The moments you feel like you dying, but you is growing. The holy energy in you, though you don't notice. Them scriptures say, blessed the ones who be the poorest. So I ride the waves round the surface. Even when a brother getting moved by the currents, I'ma live even when I'm burning in a furnace. Remember that seeds always die before they flourish. Tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. I said, tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. I said, tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. When you down bad, tell me how you deal. When you got scars, tell me how you heal. When you round the fam, is you really real? Keep it real, keep it 100, keep it a bill. You must fall apart before you build. You must learn to cry before you carry that pain upon your neighbor. You can do him no favors. When you holding weapons that'll prosper, put them to your head cause you think that you's a monster. Oh baby, it's the world that's a monster and you just wanna get out. Life's a game and you just wanna sit out. I get it, my brother, trust me, I get it. I be ducked off by my dodo cause I don't go out into the world unless it's work or show on promo. Cause I don't trust no people, they be doing such evil. But I know a soul needs a soulmate. Both my partner and my homies that do know me. And my homies that do know me. Oh, I said, tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. What? Oh, I said, tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. Oh, tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. Oh, I said, tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. When you down bad, tell me how you deal. When you got scars, tell me how you heal. When you around the fam, is you really real? Is you really real? Is you really real? When you around the fam, is you really real?
I said, tell me how you feel, tell me how you feel. When you down bad, tell me how you deal. When you got scars, tell me how you heal. When you around the fam, is you really real? Yeah.
Thank y'all. So, I'm happy to close with this last song. This last song I wrote like 4 years ago, but I feel like it's so true. But again, like it's that one thing where like art's timeless when you can tell the truth in it, you know. So this piece, I feel like a lot of my pieces are written as like little meditations for myself to kind of keep myself like in a straight mental path. So because I wrote this also after a little meditation I did, and in the meditation was it was a meditation tape from RZA from Wu-Tang Clan. But in this meditation, he had a phrase that he said that stuck with me, and it was imagine yourself being the center of the solar system, like how everything like revolves around you in a healthy way, you know, in the sense of like there's balance there. There's always balance. There's always harmony. So I wrote this song right after hearing the little phrase, and like it kind of just came to be this song called Breathe, essentially. And the beat's called Explosions in the Sky. I'm the center to my solar system, maintaining balance with planets that are revolving, stars gravitating because they see that I'm evolving, bearing problems so in need of solving. Not a mathematician, but I add my focus and take away the vision. Multiply distractions, divided with confliction. Barely making time for myself, and I know that it's bad for my health. Should not put their problems on my shelf when my storage be backed up. I'm the one creating my bad luck. I'm the one creating my bad luck. I'm the one creating my... Try to make it habit to turn artists to the chaos. Hardly break my Sabbath for the grind that I stay on. I'm empty out of life, so I speak with death like a seance. Got no time to be on knees praying. I be on beats laying. Don't be on sheets laying. My head down, bed now. Collecting cobwebs over pillowcases. Hella races with hella places. Running hella paces. Overworking feels like a crime. I'm facing heavy cases. Gaining war but losing inner being. Collecting treasures that moth and rust are quickly eating. That drenches into my labor though my soul isn't feeding. So really I am malnourished though it looks like I flourish. A silly seed sown amongst thistles. Conversating with my head breaks. It feels like my head breaks. Eyes heavy with all the worries weighing down. Dressed for success while still wearing crowns. I guess this rat race ain't really perfect. We can store them treasure in them purses. All my work will one day end up burning. All that lasts are all the lessons learned in the journey. Did I supply some food to show the yearning? Or did I put too much on my plate? Lunch meetings, put in hella work, heaven's sake. I'm done treating myself like I don't matter, so I won't scatter. Break down with all my pieces scattered. Breathe like a nail to a hammer. I cannot feel free when confined to the slammer. I need to breathe. So I remind myself, when I don't take time to breathe, I don't take time to live. When I let them only take, I don't got time to give. I pray that I continue to be present in all that life brings. The chaos, the good, the bad, the ugly. May I continue to breathe. May I continue to be present. Because life's too long to live without presence. Life's too long to live only taking. Life's too long to not breathe. And that's my set. Thank y'all again for being present with all the narratives. Did y'all give yourselves a round of applause? Thank y'all. Give it up again for my homies DK and Day Day in the back as well. Give it up for John for making this happen. Give it up to my DJ King Supreme as well.